I'm back on the routine. 4:27. Got up about 4:10. Made my bulletproof coffee. Now I'm doing some reflection from last night. I started listening to the Tony Robbins podcast about his new book, Unshakable, which is a follow-up to his previous book, Money Master the Game, which is extremely long, so he decided to remake it, I guess, into a shorter version for the lay person. Anyways, I'm reading Money Master the Game because they were talking about investments and making sure your money's in there is in there at the right time, because there's always a correction every year, and then every 3 to 5 years there's a fairly big correction. And just making sure that you're there when that correction happens and being able to reap the benefits. I was reading about the Ray Dalio chapter, which reviewed his all-weather portfolio. And I also came across this: ask better questions and you will get better answers. That really connected with me. He used a tech reference, so that was interesting. He said that Bill Gates with Microsoft wanted to make the operating system that ran a majority of the computers, and he was fairly successful. But the Google boys, Larry Page and Sergey, they asked a much larger question: how can we organize the world's information and make it useful? And the answer they got was, well, Google. And at this point, in today's day and age, Google is far surpassing Microsoft. Next, Ray Dalio made a video about how how economics work and how the market works. So I'm going to go watch that this morning. About a 30-minute video, so that should be interesting. Yeah, this is a great way to start the morning. I took notes on this piece of paper about what I was reading last night, so that when I got up this morning, I would know exactly what I'd been thinking about and reading about. So getting right into it. So I'm probably going to start doing this more. About that, this weekend was the perfect reminder, and just the reminder that I needed. You can't know what focused and productive feels like until you are unfocused and unproductive. Just as you can't know what happy is like until you know what sad and angry are like. Anyways, I get a quick update in here. Got a bunch of stuff done this morning. In terms of done, I mean, watched a couple courses from the Mel Roberts, Finding Your Passion. It's okay, it's not that great. Then I watched some of the Peter Diamandis. That was always good, about crowdfunding and using the crowd for services and jobs like Fiverr, stuff like that. Anyways, then I watched the 30-minute video of Ray Dalio talking about how the economy works. It was very good. Then did some research on investing in funds. I'm going to try and reallocate and assign my current 401k investments. Then I went to 462 class. I actually paid attention today. It was somewhat interesting, reviewing vulnerability scores and how that type of stuff is managed. Walked to the UC, which is where I just got back from, which is why I'm out of breath. Had some lunch. It was good. Now I'm going to have some class and do more research on investments. But yeah, really just to come back to what I was just talking about at the beginning. Yesterday, got so much done. Did exactly what I needed to be doing. Last night did some reading, of course. So it wasn't really that I know how good this feels and how much I enjoy this until I wasted the weekend away. So, contrast, really. Perspective. knowing what you don't want to do so that you are even more happy when you're doing what you want to do. Also did my workout this morning. I think I forgot to post from that, but got to the gym, did some seated rows, some stair climbers. Yeah, it was pretty good. After my last update, I went to senior design class. Spent the whole time reading about Ray Dalio and his all-weather fund. Then getting back to the investing, trying to figure out redistribution of my retirement fund, my 401k, and also any further investments. Then I went and had a fantastic session at their climbing wall. Did really good. Then left, got on the bus, came over to Mincal, and basically started pouring down on me as soon as I got over here. And I was supposed to go back and meet Vasu to work on stuff for senior design. But we had a bunch of all my stuff all of our stuff in my car, so I had to go. I drove it over to him so it didn't get all wet. Now it's time for me to walk all in the rain. Hopefully we'll get a couple hours of work done and make progress on that senior design.